Dante Moore, the more I watch him play football, the more impressed I am. And this, again, goes back to the coaching staff. Like, the age-old adage is it the Jimmies and the Joes or the X's and the O's? Well, in college football, it's more about Jimmies and the Joes. If you have better players than the other team, you don't have to be a schematic mastermind. And Mario Cristobal showcases that. They're a top 5 team. They're a top 3 team coming into the week. Number 2 in the country in college football. That's where Oregon should be because they've got a better win than Miami beating Notre Dame by 3 at home. But again, the Cristobal approach mostly relies on just having better players than the other team. Well, when you have that most of the time, yep, you can wind up winning games. Well, when you have both, you have the ability to go out and win the national championship, which Oregon does. Because the way that this coaching staff is performing is incredibly good, and there's perhaps no better singular example. I could list a lot of them. I mentioned the freshman and Bear Alexander and all that. I could list a lot of them. There's maybe no better example than Dante Moore. The maturity that this guy shows in his career, and the first time I ever interviewed him, I got the sense that he was a poised, calm, cool, collected kid, good head on his shoulders. I didn't realize, and I don't think anybody really could have because it's so hard to project high-end quarterback talent. I don't think anybody could have known that he'd be able to stay this level-headed after everything that he's gone through. You think about his first impression of college football was, I'm a big-time recruit, but I'm not starting. Oh, now I'm starting. Oh, this is really hard. And to have the wherewithal to say, you know what, I'm not ready. I feel like in today's world amongst college athletes, that's an incredibly mature decision. On the other end of that particular spectrum, and I don't think it was actually his decision, you have Nico Iamaleava, who made an incredibly foolish decision to leave Tennessee, who's good, for UCLA, who's already fired their coach. Dante Moore goes out and says, you know what, I'm not ready to go. I need to go to a place where I can sit and learn. And he is looking like one of the best quarterbacks in Oregon history. Because it's not normal to play at this level this early in your career. I know he's a third-year player, but for this to have been game 5 as Oregon's starting quarterback, and for him to look like the same guy and to level up his game against Penn State on the road is unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. The way that he plays the game is so poised. He looks so unflappable. And one reason I was excited about watching him in this game is that, you know, he was going to have more adversity in this game than he had faced in the previous 4 games combined. That turned out to be true. He had to run more than he had, including on a couple of 4th and short situations. He got hit more. There were just tougher plays to make. He only threw for 248 yards. There were only a couple of really big passing plays, but he made a couple of incredible plays. So I want to start going through some of my favorite moments of the game. Did Oregon get away with a hold on this one? I think so. If the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be saying that our defensive end was held. However, the officials didn't call a lot of stuff. Turns out officials overall aren't very good. As I've said for a long time, thankfully I haven't had to bring this up in a while. I don't expect officials to get it right consistently or be good. You go in with that, it's a much more enjoyable way to watch a football game. Anyway, Dante Moore on 3rd and 4, the long pass to Kenyon Sadiq. I'm sure Will Stein would tell him at some level, you know, when you're rolling right, throwing back over the middle, dangerous. But when you have the crazy arm talent that Dante Moore has, with 2 guys chasing after him, you know, when he's rolling out to the right on that play, it looks like it should just be a throwaway. And for a lot of guys, it might be. You know, you're in that setting. You've got 2 big guys that are faster than you think they should be running after you. And you're looking around going, oh boy, I better not make a big mistake. And for him to make that throw in that spot, that along with the 3rd down throw to DeCorian Moore, who's just awesome. You talk, not every big-time 5-star recruit lives up to the billing. We've seen that. Yeah, DeCorian Moore is the opposite of that. He is just getting better and better. He was working mostly, it looked like. I haven't done a breakdown of every single play and the snap count and such, but he worked on A.J. Harris a lot, who's a first or second round NFL corner. DeCorian Moore is a true freshman, and he had him cooked a couple times, including another big third down that, if memory serves, led to an Oregon touchdown, or at least it was points. The third down where Harris kind of locks him up as he goes inside, and then he gets into scramble mode, and Dante Moore again, rolling right, throwing on the run, and the speed with which DeCorian Moore, as he's running right, breaks up field in the scramble drill and then holds on through the contested catch. Those two plays, I haven't yet gone back and watched the full game. I went back and watched some extended highlights. Those two moments, to me, showcased why Dante Moore is ready sooner than I expected him to be. I thought he'd be good this year. He looks great. Give me a quarterback in college football who you'd rather have than Dante Moore right now. I'll just, coming into this one, top 10 teams in college football in the AP poll. Ohio State, Julian Sain, I'll take Dante Moore. Miami, Carson Beck, I will take Dante Moore. Carson Beck is good. Drew Aller, Penn State, yeah, I don't even have to finish that sentence. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, a guy I really liked coming into the year. I'd take Dante Moore. Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, real good. He's not Dante Moore. John Mateer at Oklahoma, real good. I'll take Dante Moore. Tommy Castellanos at Florida State, lost to Virginia on Friday night. I think this game was a little bit tougher, and Dante won the game. Marcel Reed at Texas A&M, talented. I'll take Dante. Arch Manning at Texas, I don't have to finish that sentence either. You know, like the way that he is playing, what's the fault in his game? What's he doing wrong? What does he still have to improve upon? Coaches can always nitpick and find details about, missed this or didn't make that read correctly or has got to be better with that. But the way that he has just transformed himself after watching Dillon Gabriel last year is nothing short of remarkable. And it's an awesome thing to see. It's really tough. It is a tough time for the Oregon doesn't develop crowd because, boy, it was always a ridiculous narrative, and it just keeps getting more and more insane. Dante Moore at UCLA, 11-9 touchdown to interception ratio, and he just went for 248 and 3 scores while having 2 critical fourth down conversion runs and winning a double overtime game at Penn State. And he just looks unflappable. Everything that happened, he got hit more in this game, popped right back up. Took some shots running, popped right back up. Threw an incomplete pass, popped right back. And he has kind of a Mariota level of poise. Bo Nix definitely had a composure about him and was a super experienced guy, and so did Dillon Gabriel. I felt like at times those guys are a bit more fiery, and Dante Moore is Mariota. It's just, it's outside of the Ryder Cup Scotty Scheffler-esque, where it's just, he stays level-headed. The good stuff happens, hey, next one. Bad stuff happens, hey, next one. And the fact that he's still been sacked just one time this year is, yes, a testament to the offensive line. Your quarterback has to be really good too. You can't have bad quarterback play and keep him upright all the time, unless you're just throwing 2-yard incompletions every single play. So for Dante Moore to have played as well as he has to this point, he has moved up to be the betting favorite for the Heisman over at FanDuel. Someone's going to have to knock him off. Someone is going to have to knock him off of that spot. He's ahead of Carson Beck, Jeremiah Smith, Ty Simpson at Alabama, Fernando Mendoza at Indiana. That's crazy. That's Oregon's next opponent, by the way. And Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss. Chambliss is former D2 guy. He's kind of awesome. But, yeah, Dante Moore's favorite for the Heisman. How could he not be? I mean, he just looks completely unflappable. Nothing has fazed him. He's been good situationally. He's been good throughout the course of the game. Does whatever it takes to win. And, man, there's a photo of an embrace between him and Dan Lanning post-game. You see how much it means to those two guys. It's awesome. Phenomenally awesome. And I cannot give Dante Moore enough praise.